guys, welcome back. How's it going? Today we have a lot to cover. The Japan storyline, the Saigon storyline. We have we have both of these already, but we also got the red team storyline today. And today is not a good day for the red team. I'm going to be honest. Right off the bat, I'm gonna just be honest. I'm gonna keep it a buck. Red team's cooked. But yeah. First, let's begin in Saigon. These guys, they are basically about to get the worst whooping of their life, and that is because these pink guys right here, they actually launch a pretty brutal invasion of these guys in the south, and they actually do pretty well in this. I can't lie. Okay, maybe a little bit too well. they do pretty well in this. They're able to capture all of that, but they also kind of just like spread and take over the entire like coastline, which is not good because they just lost their coastline. But while these guys are doing that, they send over a peace treaty, which is basically like, let us take this, and then you can keep the rest of your country. And as that peace is getting approved, second war breaks out with the east of these guys, and yeah, from there these guys sprint through. They capture the rest of the country, and these two agree to split the country based on the land that they currently hold inside of the country. So, taking a look at this peace treaty, uh, these guys are just going to lose all this. So these guys, I think these guys are at the point where they need a name, and that is going to be Southern Saigon. So they're going to declare themselves Southern Saigon, which is a big problem because they're technically now claiming ownership of all of this, which is a big thing. Um, and then yeah, all right. So with that having happened, we can now move on to the rest of this. All these guys, they're still pretty much chill with each other. They still love each other. These guys still barely have anything they can do, and we can just move on to Japan. So over here, these guys, the Golden Child, basically just the Golden Child, they sign a defense pact with these guys, and together the two launch two different invasions. Firstly, one invasion right here, which is already going to catch a lot of people off guard, as the capital of this country is going to pretty much fall already, which is really going to prove that these guys are probably the best right now. But secondly, these guys who are just going to launch an invasion into this little country right here, and that is also going to be really, really like destructive. And these guys are going to actually be able to capitulate this almost immediately, while these guys over here are going to fight a little bit longer until the capital completely collapses. And from there, the rest of the thing is going to get kind of steamrolled, and eventually these guys are going to capitulate as well. So, with that, let's just take a look at this piece here. I know I'm running through all of this, but it's because what's about to happen today is going to be really, really fun to watch. So stay tuned. Also, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Um, okay, yeah. So these guys, they're gonna annex all of this. Yup, and take that, and then this thing is going to take both of that. All right. So, yup, that just happened. I can't lie. These guys are pretty much cooked. Like really, really cooked. Um, over here, this is gonna happen, and yeah, okay. That's the South is looking a lot more unified. I can't lie. These guys, meanwhile, are going to actually. These two are going to agree to split the country, this country into two. These guys are going to send an ultimatum for this to be given up immediately, which the ultimatum will be agreed to, because these guys are just trying to keep their autonomy. But the other part of the ultimatum is to keep the military below 50,000 personnel, and these guys right here, they have about 500,000, so they're able to just steamroll through after the military over here is destroyed completely. And yeah, can't lie, this is why you don't just like blindly agree to an ultimatum. You consider all the possibilities. Personally, in my opinion, I would not have taken that ultimatum, because I honestly feel like these guys could have probably defended pretty well against these guys. Yeah, so now Japan, the South only really has four countries left. Not looking really good, for especially for these guys. They're cooked. They're so incredibly cooked. Look at all these powerful countries around them. Just look at that. Anyways, Moving on, we can now go to the Mamluks, where, and this is something that's gonna happen like right before. Actually, no, I think we can go to the red team first, because the Mamluk thing kind of ties to the red team. Basically, and yeah, basically all of this, it's a lot. Can't lie, it's a lot. And basically, everyone's currently against this leader, and eventually it's gonna get so bad that all the big rebellion groups in the country are actually going to put their differences aside. They're all gonna meet up inside of over here. Actually, no, Cyprus. Like they're gonna meet up in Cyprus. They're going to decide that, you know what, it's time for a civil war again. And this time, they decide it's going to be a scorched earth type of thing, and they're not stopping until they win. So they go over here, the Strait of Malacca, and they launch the war on the Moroccan side. They're going to capture the southern part of the Malaccan Strait. That's the first place they're going to start rebelling from. The Moroccan capital is going to fall, actually, also, or like the biggest city, because technically they're a province of the red team, so they don't have a capital, but that's going to fall. Um, the south, a bunch of cities on the southern coast are going to fall. And basically, at this point, the red team is in full panic mode because they don't want another civil war. They've kind of realized that it's really been bad for them every single time. The Moroccan government is actually going to do something really stupid. They're going to basically pull out their resources from all of here and focus on the Strait of Malacca, because that's the thing that uh the governor king of Morocco, Mini King, basically he owns a bunch of real estate over here, so he's going to send the entire army to defend national territories, which is literally the point of the national army, to be defending. Like his army is supposed to defend all of this. So that's going to lead to this growing really big, but this being completely like destroyed, like whooped around. The entire national army, the entire Moroccan army, and the entire Carthaginian army has just been sent to destroy this. So yeah, that's just gone. Uh, what next? Next up, the rebels are actually going to begin launching strikes at these ports, because now they have a navy, because of Morocco, because Morocco's being dumb. They just let these guys get an entire navy now, because a bunch of naval ports have just been conquered. Also, the entire south kind of falls. So like yeah, from here the people of Morocco actually begin rebelling, and they're able to force a snap election. And in that election, the mini king of Morocco, he loses really badly. But the election is actually like not considered by the king, which is another one of the king's mistakes. He actually denies the election should even be happening, and so he basically appoints his own leader in here instead of respecting the people's wishes, which leads to the rebel sentiment becoming really big and the entirety of Morocco basically falling. From here, he basically lowers the military's wage a lot, which is really bad to do inside of war because the military is currently fighting for him, like literally defending his like his mistake. But not only does he do that, he also starts firing a lot of major generals. One of these major generals are a general who literally helped capture the land and push back the Persians. Which, if you remember this episode, that was a big blue team success, red team success. Another general that he fires is one who helped with the initial invasion of wait, hold up. Oh, another one is one that he a bunch of them is ones that helped with the invasion of France, which as you can see was a red team victory. And then we have some that helped with the invasion of Azerbaijan. So yeah, that leads to the military becoming really upset with him. That leads to one military general who fought, if you remember, a few episodes ago. Remember when the red team conquered the blue team capital for a little bit? Yeah, that's this guy, and he's mad now. So he organizes the military. He's actually currently the top officer now. The red team, the king. He actually puts this guy into the command of the military. So like the highest military officer, chief of like army, like secretary of defense, secretary of the state, something like that. I don't remember. But he's mad because he's like, nope, this country is so cooked if we listen to the king. So he decides to organize the military, and he launches the invasion of the capital. The capital, almost instantly, because the military is the ones defending it, and now the military is against the capital. So capital falls, and now we have two rebel groups. One is the military, one is the actual rebels. Now, the Moroccan leadership basically realizes the red team is cooked, and they agree to basically help the rebels in exchange for an independent Morocco from the red team. And at this point, the rebels kind of just want the dissolution of, not the dissolution of the red team, but they want all these provinces to have a degree of autonomy that would make their economies separate from the red team. So Morocco, because they're all money driven, they immediately agree to this new like proposal of the rebels like ideas, and they basically help with the invasion of this. And now the Moroccan army, National Moroccan Army, is fighting alongside these guys. They're able to capture the Strait of Malacca. However, the Portuguese, they're actually going to agree to join the military after a small breakout happens. And basically, the king there, he's going to basically flip to the military because he was a military general himself, so he has like a lot more things. And he's also a really close friend of the military general who's leading this assault. And with him, they're actually going to be able to invade Spain. And that's going to be a big, big thing. They're actually going to be able to capture all of Spain. That's a big knockout, I can't lie. Meanwhile, Qatar, yeah, I can't lie, they're going to fall. They've already fallen, and the military is actually going to be able to expand, and they actually are going to be able to capture the entire Persian Gulf coast of the red team. The king has now basically realized he's not coming back to the country. Let's be real, and he actually goes radio silent for a long, long time. Meanwhile, whatever army is left that's loyal to the state and to the king, they're ordered to continue fighting. And at Baghdad, the biggest fight yet happens between the rebel military and the actual military, and the actual military loses, which basically sets the fate of this entire region as slowly by slowly the entire thing basically crumbles and either by force or by choice joins the rebel military. From here, basically, one thing happens, and that's going to be the this land. This is basically where they're gonna corner these guys. And right here, in a final like little thing, they're gonna invade and they're gonna capture that. They're gonna capture Cyprus. They're gonna capture Alexander. Yeah, it's looking like it's not looking good. It's not looking good. I can't lie. It's looking bad. Uh, this is a national territory, and since the national territories are now fallen, they're all under these guys. So national territories, every single national territory plus Spain and Portugal, are now under the military control, while everything else is technically given a choice. These guys decide to join the rebels, and these guys also decide to join the rebels, but they're way more neutral. And the military realizes they don't have the resources to continue fighting, so they agree to this kind of peace, where all the provinces that are semi-autonomous already are given like full autonomy, basically. And yeah, that's basically Red Team has collapsed. If I'm being honest, Red Team has collapsed. This is the end of the Red Team until there is one government again. Because right now there's three governments. All the provinces, they work together under one rebel government, but they're also all like autonomous. But they follow the same like structure, so like kind of yeah, I think they're just all autonomous. I don't think they care that much about each other as they do about themselves. So they're all autonomous. Then we have the military coup, like the military leaders, and then we have the internationally recognized king who doesn't even live in the country anymore. Yeah, blue team, they are basically really scared because remember I told you guys if the red team falls, the blue team is going to be insanely like cooked. Because one, it's going to cause a lot of panic since their northern second strongest country in the world basically just fell. But also, it's going to basically prove to these guys that to the people who live in the blue team, it's going to prove to them that the blue team can also fall. It can happen. So yeah, a lot of people get scared. A lot of people are calling for an invasion of the red team to just kind of like take it over and make it a blue team thing. Blue team government is going to be considering their moves very carefully now. Also, the red team alliance basically has a vote, and they decide to kick the red team off the alliance because it's a military leader now. The king, he technically doesn't have any control of the country, so he's not really going to say anything. So now the red team isn't a part of their own alliance. The Ottomans are scared because the red team military is right there. The military people, they're right there. The reason I didn't show any fighting in the European territories was because that's a national territory, so that's just automatically whoever controls Qatar is just part of them. But also, for the first time in a while, the capital is going to get moved because the capital at this point has taken so much, it's kind of just destroyed. They're going to move it to basically two cities, one this and this and this. These are the three options, and they're going to decide to move it right here. So, yeah, the capital has been moved. The country is no longer in an alliance. Everyone knows that the red team is cooked, and we kind of just got to figure out what's going to happen now with the red team. The blue team doesn't want to call a New Zealand conference. They want to, but they can't because that would make the king be able to speak out to the public, and they know that whatever the king says at this point will lead to even more chaos in here because the king can't say things right, bro. He's cooked. He's chopped. If he says anything at this point, it's gonna make things way worse because people are gonna get really mad in the red team, and then yeah, and there's already been two assassination attempts on him inside of this country. So like, yeah, it doesn't matter where he is. The red team has such a big influence that if you're the most hated person in the red team, you're obviously getting targeted across the world. And he's actually like considering leaving this country as well. So yeah, probably I think his best option might just be to fly into this country because they're like cut off from the entire world. So like, yeah, it might be that they don't want to fly into Crimean territory because, well, he can't fly. Airplanes aren't invaded, uh, invented. But I don't think he can go to a Crimean allied country because he's kind of had beef with Crimea. So, yeah. Anyways, let's move on from there. Basically, this is going to send shockwaves around the world, and one of those shockwaves is going to include these guys. The Mamluks, they're basically going to go visit the red team king in here because they're going to realize that, like, maybe, or the military, because they're going to realize that, the king of the red team hated us, so maybe the military will like us because we're like against him too. So while the leadership is out, the rebels are basically going to realize that the capital is right next to their border, and they're basically going to launch massive invasion, capitulating basically the entire capital area immediately. And then they're also going to just grow their uh, control in the east or west, not east. And yeah, immediately a ceasefire is going to be established again. And I think at this point, actually, not at this point. Like 20 episodes ago, the Mughals should have realized to not be placing their capital this close to rebel borders. So I think this was a long time coming. Like this should have happened a very, very long time ago. But I think now they'll finally be realizing that they need to place the capital a little bit far away. So firstly, this is all like taken over immediately, but also secondly, Shanghai isn't like this happens so fast. Shanghai isn't even able to send any military to help these guys, and they also agree to the peace so fast. It actually makes Shanghai a little bit mad because Shanghai is like, what's the point of the defense pact if you're not even gonna let us send people to defend you? So yeah. Also, the capital is now finally moved down here instead of up there. They're finally gonna do something smart. They're just gonna move it down there. Now, the last thing this episode is gonna be Himalayas. Basically, with the red team gone, all their allies are left defenseless because most of their allies can't really defend themselves. The Himalayas are one of those guys. The only thing keeping the blue team from invading the Himalayas at this point, up until this point, was the existence of the red team, which kind of doesn't exist anymore. So they're gonna face a pretty brutal invasion. The blue team almost immediately is gonna capture this semi-autonomous or like claimed zone right here. That's falling immediately. That's just gone. Himalayas, they're gonna see a lot of their port cities falling to blue team control as well. And the Arab Sea Republic, they're actually going to also invade or help the blue team invade. And also, big problem right now, without the red team kind of forcing everybody to help these guys, a lot of the countries in the alliance with the Himalayas, the red team alliance, a lot of them are just gonna like simply